Hi, you guys. Okay, Snowfall, Season 4, Episode 6. Teddy receives a phone call from his father, and his father tells him that his brother passed away from a heart attack. Teddy immediately gets himself in motion to leave to go home to his father's house. And his father said, "No, that won't be necessary." Teddy said, "What? Like, I'm coming to my brother's funeral." Teddy's father tells him that the funeral was yesterday and that he died 2 weeks ago. He also tells him that this is all Teddy's fault and they will not ever again come in contact with one another. Teddy has to feel like shit because his brother was minding his business. Teddy begged his brother to help him with the Colombians. He got over there with the Colombians and they went crazy. They had him smoking snorting all that cocaine, and he never recovered from that. Teddy's father is so militant, but he wasn't like that with his brother. And we've seen that Teddy's father was crying. A tear was rolling down his face when he was telling Teddy what happened. I wonder why his father resent him so much. Okay, over to Franklin. Franklin is down at the club grabbing a large amount of cash to do some business with. And it's him and Peaches. And as they're leaving, they pack everything in the trunk of the car, and the cops pulled up, and it's Detective Stern. Here's the heat that Teddy warned Franklin that would come. Detective Stern's main reason for being there is he want Leon. And Franklin said, "I'm sorry, I don't know a Leon." Detective Stern said, "Oh, come on. The guy with the afro, short, kills kids." Again, Franklin says, "I don't know what you mean." Detective Stern done had enough of that "I don't know" bullshit. He knocks Franklin Kane over and buckle him to the ground. And then the other police officers get Peaches and they have him on the ground doing that police brutality shit. Y'all know how LAPD get down. The detective goes inside of the trunk of the car and he finds nothing. That speaker came through for them. Detective Stern tells Franklin, "Look, I can pull you over whenever I want to. I can take your ass down whenever I want to. A child has been murdered." Yeah, Franklin was coming is certain. And right now, he's just feeling the heat from the authorities. He still have to deal with Manboy and Scully. Franklin goes on down to the hiding spot to see Leon. And Leon asks him how was everything out in the streets. Franklin tells Leon that it's been hot. And Leon tells Franklin, "I can go in and wait till my trial to see if I can beat this." And Franklin said, "No, I need you here running the projects." So I'm like, how you going to have Leon out running the projects and he's fighting these charges and he still has to duck from Scully and Manboy? How? Franklin tells Leon, "Look, Fatback going to have to take the charges." And Leon, he's like, "No, that's not on him. It's on me." Franklin keeps reassuring Leon that it's not his fault. It was an accident. And most of all, they shouldn't have had that little girl in the car in the first place. And you already know, I agree 100% on that one. Franklin goes on to say that Fatback's family will be taken care of. And when Fatback gets out of jail, that he'll be taken care of as well. I'm not surprised that it came to this, but I feel bad for Fatback because he is very loyal to Leon. But they say he a soldier. Franklin, Leon, and Peaches, they going over to see Fatback. And he's staying with his cousin on his mother's side house. And he was happy as shit that they brought him some good food. He said he haven't been out in a long time. He asks them, "What's been going on out there? Have things been dying down? Can I go? Can we go home now?" Franklin said, "Actually, that's why we're here. Fatback, I'm going to need you to take the rap for this one. If you turn yourself in, you'll get firearm charges and accessory. And we have a great lawyer. He said if you was to turn yourself in, that you would have a good chance of beating the case." Fatback is looking around in the room like, how did we get here? He tells Franklin, I don't know, Franklin. If that lawyer is wrong, I can get 50 years. And people that are found guilty killing kids doesn't have it easy in there. Leon is just sitting there, and I'm imagining that he's feeling guilty. And this wasn't his idea to do this to Fatback. Franklin is sitting across from Leon and looking at him like, put that cherry on the top. So Leon said, Fatback, if it comes to that, I got protection on the inside for you. Also, your family gonna receive $5,000 a month for however long you're gone. And when you do get out, you'll get $250,000. Tells Fatback it just has to be done. But you got this, and everything is going to be okay. Franklin says to Fatback, you're a real one, but it was real phony. What the fuck was that, a pep talk? They dropped Fatback off at the police station, and the lawyer was there waiting for him. And Franklin did this in hopes that it would take the heat off the streets. But I don't know. I think they would still be on a search for Leon, especially Detective Stern, because he already know what Franklin, or have an idea of what Franklin is about. And he's going to make it his business to take Franklin and his organization down. Okay, Louie and Jerome are on their way up to Little Rock. And Jerome is not happy about staying all the way up in West Bumblefuck somewhere. Louie's friend and her family, they live in like a trailer park. And Jerome is just like, where the fuck is this at? How the hell we gonna get a pipeline up this motherfucker? Louie is trying to stay positive, and she said, come on, you'll see. Louie and Jerome got their nice coats on, looking like money. Jerome said, we're a little overdressed, aren't we? Because Egypt and her husband had on trailer park clothes. Jerome was really on his big city bougie, okay? So it's Egypt, her husband Johnny, their 2 children, and she's pregnant with 1. Also staying with them is her brother Charles. Charles is going to be something else. He tells Louie and Franklin when he gets back from dropping the kids off that he wants to taste what they got. Louie gets straight to work showing Egypt how to rock up the cocaine. Egypt takes a little taste of the cocaine and she's like, damn, this shit good. We should just sell this like how it is. Louie tells her, no, you make more money rocking it up. It's more addictive. And the margarines are wider. And Egypt is just impressed. She's been complimenting Louie since she got there. I mean, I think Louie is over it by now. Egypt says to Louie, I'm proud of you. You all bossed up. Louie said, oh, I'm proud of you too. You a boss. And Egypt said, yeah, what Joe, Walmart or Piggly Wiggly? She goes on to say that Johnny is never home, and when he is home, he's irritated. She says that she can understand, because how would a man feel that he works and he still can't provide for his family? Louie said, well, that can't be easy. And Egypt said, no, not like millions of dollars, your own nightclub and no kids. Louie was cooking up that crack rock. She said, and soon you will too. Honey, Egypt put that damn mask on. She said, and what about moving it? He is ready to get her millions. While this is going on, Jerome and Johnny is chopping it up. And he's telling Johnny, yeah, it's just like selling weed. That's a goddamn lie, Jerome. Jerome tells Johnny, in this game, you have to know who you can trust, and you have to put distance between you and the streets. Johnny tells Jerome that he's privy of the news that was going on in L.A. for us, the gang violence and things like that. And Jerome tells him, well, more money, more problems. People will test you. Johnny asks him, well, how do you handle it? And Jerome shows him. He goes out and get that Uzi, and they is just having a ball. They done scared the shit out of Egypt. And Louie, who made a big ass rock back there, they come running to the front, and Egypt says she got next. Okay, so now it's later on that day, and we have Louie and Jerome, Egypt, Johnny, and Charles. Charles' ass is ready to see how high he can get off this rock. Louie tells him, hold up now, you are to never, none of y'all is to never do the rock. It's highly addictive. It's a no-no. Cocaine, okay. Rock, no. Charles said, well, how the fuck am I supposed to sell it if I don't know how it is? And Jerome tells him it's better than sex. He said, sex with me? Louie said, look, y'all don't understand. This shit is worse than the addiction of heroin. I never seen anything like this before. Just don't smoke it. So this counts Charles out. He said, fuck that, y'all ain't no fun. Jerome said, well, this is not about fun. This is business. So Johnny said, hold the fuck up. What is this rock shit that I can't smoke it? You gotta have Uzis and shit. Candy said, hold up now, baby. My girlfriend wouldn't bring nothing in here that we can't handle. Johnny said, fuck that. You done told me this girl get you into trouble. Candy said, when we was kids. Johnny said, look, shoot me straight. If I get involved with this rock, what is coming to me? Lloyd tells him, long as you smart and you do things the way I tell you, you will be fine. And Jerome is looking at Lloyd like, you are in too fucking deep. And because that's what I was thinking. Lloyd telling them half truths and shit. And I can't stand when people do that. And Candy is just tired of being poor. She is encouraging her man like, look, come on, it just be for a little while. You can get your own rig. You can pay off some debt. You work too hard to be drowning like we are. She's trying to convince him that this is the better option for them right now. Her husband, Johnny, he tired of fucking struggling. He looking at Louie and Jerome, and they appear to have everything going on straight down there. They have money and nice clothes, car. He's thinking maybe this is the better option for me right now. Later on that night, Jerome asks Louie, how do you look these people in your face and lie to them? Napalm is about to drop on these people. You're not even going to warn them. Louie say, you don't know that. It's no gangs out here. This is Little Rock. Jerome said, you can tell yourself whatever the fuck you want. You're about to make these people into killers or about to be killed. I can tell you that. Jerome ain't lying. Jerome says to Lloyd, look, we got in this game to get rich. You have cars, clothes, you have the jewelry, you have the club. What else do you need? Lloyd said it's not about that, Jerome. So Jerome gets frustrated. He packs his stuff and he said he's going down to the hotel. He'll be back for the party. And then after that, they are leaving to go back to LA. Again, Jerome never wanted this. He is fine and everything. Louis is just ride or die for this. And it's getting scary. Okay, back in LA at Louis' bar, Tinashe is working and Teddy comes through. So she pages Franklin to come down because Teddy is asking for her. Now, Teddy is drunk. He's going through this emotional thing because of his brother. Tinashe tells Franklin that he's been asking for Louis, and then he started asking for Franklin. Franklin goes over to see Teddy, and Teddy said, word on the curb is the streets are still hot, and you've been missing drops. Also, the last time we talked, you were supposed to be turning in this little friend of yours. I thought you was better than this to let this feelings get in your way. Franklin tells Teddy, I got this under control, and it's just not easy to give up Leon. He's like a brother to me. I can't just serve him up. And we know at this point, Teddy is not trying to hear any of that shit. He sacrificed his brother for this entire game. Teddy tells Franklin, you don't think we all sacrifice? You don't think we all lost people we love? Well, Teddy does have to understand that Franklin did sacrifice a friend. He killed his friend. And he is sacrificing. He's sacrificing a whole community of people, his people. Teddy leaves Franklin telling him that, remember, we're all replaceable, Franklin. Now, I don't think Teddy will replace Franklin. Not right now. It's too much going on. The next morning, Fatback was granted a bail. They find this out while watching the news at Leon hiding spot. Franklin tells Leon that he's going to take care of it with the lawyer. And Leon gets a page from Wanda. Now, Wanda, she done got herself clean, and it wasn't easy for her. She even witnessed a baby that had to come clean off that shit, but she got through it, and she's clean. She tells Leon that she's clean. They let her out, that she need help, and if she does not get help, that she will relapse. Now, the first night when Wanda was released, she stayed out on the streets, and we could see that she got a glimpse of that shit and was like, I was really living like this. I cannot do this. Leon tells her, like, look, I'm dealing with my own shit right now, but if you're really desperate, I got a place for you to go. He tells her to go to the shelter. Okay, over here with Khadijah and Scully. Khadijah is whipping up a mixture of household disinfectant. She said it's for some hair products. And she tells Scully that she's going to need money, lots of it, and she don't want to hear shit. Now, early in the episode, we see that Khadijah is trying to find out information about Leon and Fat Boy, where they at, and Scully, he feels like God is judging him because when he killed Manboy, homeboy, and put him on that crucifix, he feels like he's being judged. Manboy asks Khadijah, oh, he tripping off them sherms again. And Scully said, nigga, I'm not high. So Scully is on his spiritual shit. And Khadijah said he's not much help. So what you got for me, Manboy? And Manboy said he hasn't heard anything. He's still looking. Be patient and they're going to find him. Well, Mama Bear wasn't trying to hear that shit. And she took medicine to her own hands. That large amount of money that she asked Scully for was to bail Fat Boy out. They say never trust a big butt with a smile. Why? Because it'll get you into some shit like this. Fat Boy thought he was being picked up, getting paid off by Leon and Franklin with a fine young cutie that wanted to do a threesome. And mixture that Khadijah was mixing up earlier was to knock Fat Boy out. Khadijah is asking Fat Boy, where is Leon? And Fat Boy is saying he doesn't know where Leon is. And she is just torturing him. First she burnt him, then she just started gutting him like a whale. Fatback is just in agony. He's saying, I'm not the one you want. I didn't do that. I didn't kill your child. Khadijah want to know, where is Leon? But Fatback, he did not rat his friend out. He was a soldier to the very end because they ended his ass. Back down in Little Rock, the party was a success. Johnny, he said, I ain't never seen nothing like that before. Candy asked them, could they stay a little while longer? And Jerome said, nope, we got to get back on the road. He wasn't trying to be in the mix. He's not trying to play phony. So Louis say her goodbyes to Candy. And Candy tells her whether it's a boy or a girl that she was going to name the baby Louie. And Candy and her husband, they seem excited for their new business venture. Once Louie and Jerome is in the car, Louie opens up to Jerome and she tells him that Teddy is CIA and that he uses the drug money to fund a war in Nicaragua. Jerome said that's how Franklin got off for that murder. And that's why we get the coke so cheap. Jerome asks Louie, shit, was I the only one in the dark about this? And Louis tells him no, Leon as well. He goes on to say, now you see why we can't just leave like this. And I think that was her only way of calming Jerome down for the moment. I think she used that. But I think she's fooling. She don't want to leave this game. Back at Louis' bar, Tinashe and Franklin are getting it in. And afterwards, they're laying up having pillow talk. Franklin tells Tinashe if she needed anything that he can give it to her. And she said, oh, I appreciate that, but you know I'm not in it for that. Well, girl, why are you here? Tinashe said, well, since we're asking questions, who was that guy last night at the bar acting out? And Franklin told her, that's just a guy I do business with. Franklin get a page, and it's the lawyer. And he said, well, did you bail out Fatback? And he said, no, what are you talking about? I gave you the money. And he said, well, if I didn't bail him out, you didn't bail him out. Who did bail him out? Tinashe sitting over there looking weird. I wonder if she knew about them picking up Fatback. The next morning, Franklin comes back down to the bar and he finds Fatback at the door, dead. Franklin goes and tells Leon, and Leon is going the fuck off. He said, you looked him in his fucking face and you told him everything will be all right. You're full of shit. This is all your fault. Leon is throwing furniture. He about to fight Peaches. Franklin, he just let him go. And rightfully so, he should, because it is a lot of this is Franklin's fault. If he would have just listened to Leon from the beginning, none of this wouldn't have went down. Okay, over to Teddy. He is just a mess. He is on the floor, asleep, hungover. His colleague came over to offer his condolence about his brother, and he tells him, I have two brothers and I couldn't imagine if something happened to them. He tells Teddy that over in Nicaragua they're losing the war and they need guns, and he asks Teddy, have he heard anything? He also tells Teddy that he looked into Ivy and he did not see any suspicious activity. He tells Teddy, if you just tell me everything that you know about this, I could take over. And Teddy said, no, I can do it. He tells Teddy, well, okay, if you say so, but if you need me, you know where to find me. But this has to get done. Teddy tells Oso that he plans on going to Panama and Nicaragua. And Oso was like, your brother died? And Teddy is like, But, it's back to work for him. He can't even grieve. That's going to be a disaster. And lastly, Wanda finds her way down to the shelter. And Franklin's father gets her all settled in, told her that it will be fine. She came to the right place. And in walks Irene. Elsa said, didn't I tell you not to come back around here? Leave now or I'll call the police. And Irene said, okay, so when they get here, should I tell them that this shelter is being funded by your son's drug money? And Wanda asked her that. Now, drug addicts have a gift of finessing and manipulation. And they don't lose that. Wanda is definitely going to finesse or manipulate this situation to her benefit. Elton sends Wanda away so he can have some privacy. And he tells Irene, well, that's slanderous without any proof. And Irene said, well, I had proof. I had proof on your whole damn family. But the thing is, I know who's really behind it. CIA. Irene tells Alton, look, I don't want to hurt you or your family. Isn't this what Fred Hampton died for? Isn't this what the Panthers worked for? Exposing and taking down the corruption of the U.S. government? Alton asks her, well, if you know so much, why are you bothering me? Irene tells him, I need it on a record from someone that's in it. Tell me what you know. Help me to make this story. Now I'll protect your family. But if you don't, I'll focus this story on your wife, your son, and this place. You all will burn. Now I'll be back tomorrow, and I hope you'll make the right decision. Irene ass is going to be dead next episode. Like Jerome said, I can guarantee you that. And that's it for this episode. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.